Ryan with Fluid Health and Fitness today, showing you how to do a T opener, and that's again a shortening for thoracic opener. And just think of it in simple terms. When your trunk is rotated in, right, you're rotated inward, so you're closed off. We're closing the trunk inward. So when we say we're doing a trunk opener, what we're doing is we're bringing it behind us. So just again, another synonym for outward, away from the midline of the body. So we know that based on the asymmetry with the viscera and our breathing dynamic, that the right side has a tendency to be more inward. So we're doing a T, or thoracic opener, behind us externally, so we can get the center of mass back on top of our pelvis. That's all this really is. And just remember that each vertebra of the thorax gives you 3 degrees of range of motion, and every lumbar gives you 1 to 3. So if you had adequate functional mobility without any compromises, we're shooting for anywhere from about 35 to 45 degrees of trunk and lumbar rotation with no movement into the sacrum or hips, okay? So if you want to monitor that, a quick way to do that is to lay on your side, center your spine, and then twist your torso open. And generally speaking, both shoulders should touch the floor without any overflow in your hips. And how do we know that? Well, the knees would start to displace if your spine dragged your pelvis back. So if I over-rotate and there's not enough mobility in these segments of twisting segments, it's going to take over into your hips and it's going to drag your leg back. So that's the key takeaway. So if I lay on my side here and I stack my femurs so that they're vertical, my hips are then vertically organized, and then I just have one more piece of centration to put in. My trunk has to be stable. So I'm going to bring my hand under and make sure that the width of my palm can fit between my rib and the floor. That way it centers my spine so I don't concave to the right. This would be smile away right towards the ceiling. Okay, so I'm in a smile format to the ceiling. I want to do it the other way. Fold the floor in half. Take that spiral out, or that lateral flexion out, and then I want to open up from there. So if you can't do that and hold your ab tone, sometimes we'll have you put a mat in there or a pillow and wedge the rib up. Okay, so you can do that with the pillow. So again, as you get more abdominal strength, as you improve, you'll start to do that more and more efficiently. So again, if you need the bolster, use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drape my arm and bring it back. Now some of you guys have tight pecs and pectoral girdle, so that might hurt, so you can bring it down if you need to. Really, the segment we're trying to stretch is the trunk, not so much the shoulder. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you want. But again, you're just using the passive weight of your body to fall into gravity to open it up. And all I do is breathe all the air out of my lungs to collapse the tension of my ab wall behind me. So it's going to push the abs down. I'm going to hold my ribs stable. I'm going to breathe in. And since I'm biasing my weight and gravity to external rotation, as I breathe in, the rib's going to expand on the right. And that's how we get this T opener effect. It opens the trunk up through pressure from the breath. Now again, if I lost my ab tone here, I wouldn't get the pressure apexed here. So this is an example of what's called an apical breathing drill, where I'm forcing the pressure of my breath cycle to the chamber of the thorax that doesn't normally get mobility to expand the intercostals and open up the respiratory line and the lateral line on the side of my thorax. That's going to change the organization of the way I position my hips when I'm moving or walking. So once again, you're just breathing out, inflating the canister, stretching these intercostals. Hold the pressure, hold the breath in for 8 seconds so that you get the stretch tone out of the muscle. And then you're going to relax. Relax the tension and just let the stretch tension subside, and you'll see that your hips start to fall back. Now again, be careful that you don't just get faux mobility from the hip sockets, right, or the sacrum. So if the knees start to part, you're not moving from the right segment. So just be cautious of that and only let the range occur from a passive, pain-free, natural position. You'll notice by breathing in under tension, it stretches the tissues. Remember the GTO reflex. The tendon relaxes the muscle. Hold it for 8 seconds. Relax. The neural tone subsides, and you'll get a couple more degrees of range of motion. It's pretty cool. If you do this through a rhythmic nature of in and out, you'll start to ratchet down, and you'd be surprised how quickly you can get your T-spine to open up. Most of the time, we'll see 10, maybe even 15 degrees of additional range of motion right away, just simply by cautiously and calculatedly stretching through these respiratory muscles and allowing the tension to relax around your canister. So there it is, guys. T opener. We demonstrated it on the right side. That's normally your bias side. If you have questions on it, reach out admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com or talk to your movement specialist. Have fun with that one.